The early Monday sun cast yellow shades across Philip's apartment, the kind of light that usually soothed him. Today it felt mocking, highlighting the tremor in his hands as he reached for his phone. He saw that his phone was turned off. After turning it on, he saw 4 missed calls from Julia and 3 from Peter. It was 10:30. He fell asleep and didn't go to work. Julia was likely already on her way, and the thought, which usually sparked a flicker of warmth in his body, did little to quell the gnawing anxiety that had taken root. He needed the substance. He scrolled through his contacts, his thumb hesitating over Steve's name. Guilt, a familiar visitor these days, pricked at him. He was betraying Julia's trust, jeopardizing everything they had fought so hard to build. But the craving was a relentless tide, pulling him under, and reason was a distant shore he couldn't reach. He pressed the call button. Steve answered on the 3rd ring, his voice laced with surprise. "Philip. Already. How can I help the doctor?" "Steve, we need to meet again." Philip's voice was strained, the words tumbling out in a desperate rush. "I've run out. I need something. You know." There was a pause, then a low chuckle from Steve. Well. Look who's come crawling back. Bad timing. Document Julia was just in the pub." Philip's gut twisted. Julia? What was she doing there? Said she left some performance clothes behind. Needed them back at the clothing rental. It was a bit of a lecture she gave me too, actually. Forbade me, again, practically threatened me to not sell you anything, never again. Said you were looking rough. Philip ignored the jab. "Just one more time, Steve. That's all I need. For the experiment." He clung to the lie. The excuse he had used had begun to sound hollow even to his own ears. Steve's tone shifted, a cruel edge creeping in. "Experiment, huh? Sounds more like an addiction to me. Document. Sorry, man. Julia's got a point. I can't sell to you, not after all the bullshit. But..." He paused, drawing out the word with theatrical flair. "I might know someone who can help. Girls like Julia, sometimes needs a little something extra." Steve rattled off a phone number. "His name is Orlando. Julia used him sometimes when I was dry." The name sparked a faint recognition in Philip's mind, a half-buried memory struggling to surface. "Orlando. I think I've heard that name before." "Maybe," Steve said with a shrug. "Look, I gotta go. Don't say I sent you. And for Christ's sake, be careful. That guy is a tough motherfucker. This ain't like buying a pack of cigarettes. I sent his number over. Bye, doctor." Steve hung up. Philip stared at the phone for a while. "Orlando," he said. He felt a flicker of unease, a premonition he couldn't quite place. But the craving drowned it out. He got the text from Steve. He dialed the number. A man answered, his voice low and wary. "Yeah. I'm looking for something. I heard you might be able to help." Philip hated the way he sounded, how the desperation stuck to his words. "Wrong number, buddy. I don't know what you're talking about." There was a click as the man started to hang up. "Wait," Philip blurted out. "Steve gave me your number. He said you used to help Julia. I'm her boyfriend." The doctor. Silence. Then a sigh. "Julia's boyfriend, huh? You shouldn't be talking about this shit over the phone, man. You trying to get me busted?" Philip's patience snapped. "Look, I don't have time for games. You need it. Now. Okay, chill out. No need to get your voice raised. But I don't know you, man. How do I know you're not a cop? Just meet me. I'll prove it." "All right," Orlando said, his voice still cautious. "East Harlem. Corner of 125th and Lexington. In an hour from now. And don't be late. I don't like waiting." He paused. "And come alone. Any funny business and you'll regret you ever picked up the phone." Philip barely registered the threat. "Okay," he said, his voice tight. "I'll be there." Orlando hung up without another word. Philip felt a surge of adrenaline, a strange energy that masked the guilt and fear. He had a fix to get. He checked his reflection in the hallway mirror. The man staring back was pale, his eyes bloodshot, a wildness creeping into his gaze. He barely recognized himself. He grabbed his fabric jacket and headed out the door, leaving a trail of unanswered questions and broken promises in his wake. He said hello to Jeremy, but didn't wait for the old man's response. As he stepped out into the street, he briefly wondered how he would explain his disappearance to Julia. But the thought was fleeting, quickly swallowed by the growing anticipation of the oblivion that awaited him in East Harlem. He didn't care about Julia at this point and what she told him. He just needed a new dose. He hailed a cab, giving the driver the address. As the taxi sped through Harlem, Philip closed his eyes, trying to block out the voice of reason, the voice of Julia, the voice of the man he used to be. All that mattered was the next hit. The experiments were just a lie. The reality was just a deep way to fall into addictions. He knew somewhere deep down that he was spiraling, that he was losing himself, losing Julia, losing everything he held dear. But he couldn't stop. He didn't want to stop. And he didn't know why.